Hello everyone, it's Linda Hayes again coming to you with a Travel to Belize update. So if you don't know me already, I bought property on Ambergris Caye in 2020, and later that year I came for a 3-week trip, but I ended up staying for 13 months, which I have lots of videos on things I've learned while being there. I've now applied for permanent residence, and I'm currently back in Canada for the first time since then. And the reason I've only came back for the first time is because you have to stay 50 out of 52 weeks to apply for permanent residence. And what I want to detail in this video includes the new Belize insurance, because a lot of people have been asking questions about that. So here is some of the details on the policy. So it says it's $18 for 21 days worth of coverage, which gives financial protection, and it does give you coverage for medical treatment if you need it. So definitely a lot more affordable than some of the other travel insurance you can get. So I've put the link where you can apply for this because on Facebook a lot of people were saying they didn't know where to find the details. I also put a QR code that you can scan there. So one of the things this travel insurance does is it covers the cost of a hotel if you need to stay in quarantine if you get COVID while you travel. I haven't heard of many cases of this happening, but I've heard of a couple people that that's happened to, and it can get very expensive if you need to stay longer. So that's kind of a nice thing to have while you're traveling. And like I said already, it covers your trip up to 21 days. And this is mandatory, so make sure if you're traveling to Belize that you go on to the website and apply for it. And I'm going to show what that looks like. So now I just wanted to show some of the details about applying. So the first step when you go into the link I provided is to create an account with login details. So then once you're logged in, you would enter all your personal information as well as your trip dates, and they also ask you for emergency contact information. Once you do all of that, on the screen you'll see the little snippet that I have here where you can either add another person if there's someone else in your party, or you can click the checkout. And what I've done is I've went in to apply for my daughter who's coming with me to Belize, and the cost of $18 as an additional processing fee. So what you end up paying is $18.55 US to book your travel insurance. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is the new Canadian travel rules that were just updated. So I've had some of my friends and family come visit me late last year, but it's even better now because the government's lifted the non-essential travel advisory. In addition, we no longer require a PCR test to get back into Canada if we're fully vaccinated starting on February 28th. So the PCR test was a lot more expensive, and now we're allowed to do the rapid test within 24 hours of our scheduled flight. So it's basically the same as what happens when you're going back to the US. We're not allowed to use at-home rapid tests. And one other thing to note is that you still might be randomly selected when you arrive back in Canada to do a test, but you don't have to quarantine if you're waiting for those results. So you might have seen my video on going back to Canada where I did have to get a PCR test in advance, and then I did get randomly selected and needed another one, but had to quarantine just for a little while I waited for those results. So going forward, it's very good that we don't have to do that any longer. So I've put a little snippet here of the test concierge, and you can WhatsApp them, and it's $75 for your test. And I put this snippet in just because it shows all the different areas in Belize where you can get this service. So Belize City, San Pedro, Caye Caulker, San Ignacio, Placencia, and Hopkins, they have locations where you can just easily book and get your results in 30 minutes. So I thought I'd provide a couple other options. So I've already talked in my last video about where I went, which was the Caring Hands Clinic to get my PCR test. They also do the rapid test for $75. And you can also book through Belize Diagnostic Center. And the advantage of them is that they'll come right to your hotel to do the test. And it's $78.39 because it includes a service fee to book on Belizeing.com. And I have the link there for that. Another location is San Pedro Urgent Care. If you're staying north on the bridge, you can go to Grand Caribe and get your test done right there. So I hope that information has helped, and I've provided a few of my QR codes here, the one on moving to Belize with a lot of tips, the travel one, and also Belize real estate where I have a lot of the rentals and resale options. So if you do have specific questions or want to book a consult, I have the link there to buy me a coffee, and we'll see you in the next video.